Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, history buffs and knowledge seekers, welcome back to another episode of Timeless Sagas. Today, we shall embark on a remarkable journey to explore the rich and diverse history of a land that has captivated the imagination of many, Ethiopia. So, buckle up and join me as we unravel the timeless sagas of this fascinating nation, and maybe, just maybe, you'll learn a thing or two you never knew before. Ethiopia, a landlocked country located in the Horn of Africa, is more than just a nation with a unique alphabet or the birthplace of coffee. Oh no, my friends! Ethiopia's history is a tale of warriors, empires, and ancient civilizations that have made a lasting impact on the world we know today. Our story begins in ancient times, over 3,000 years ago, with the kingdom of Mount. Though not much is known about this mysterious civilization, it's believed to have emerged around 980 BCE. Mount was heavily influenced by the nearby kingdom of Saba, in present-day Yemen. It was during this time that the ancestors of the modern Ethiopian people began to develop their own written script, known as Ge'ez, a script that is still used to this day. As the centuries passed, Ethiopia saw the rise and fall of several powerful empires, including the mighty kingdom of Aksum, which emerged around the 1st century CE. The Aksumites, led by King Ezana, adopted Christianity in the 4th century, making Ethiopia one of the first countries in the world to embrace the Christian faith. In fact, to this day, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church remains a cornerstone of the nation's culture and identity. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. After all, what's a captivating historical saga without a bit of drama? As the Aksumite Empire began to decline in the 7th century, Ethiopia entered a period of turmoil and fragmentation known as the Dark Age or Zemene Mesafint. During this period, Ethiopia was beset by internal strife, as regional warlords vied for power and control. However, hope was not lost. Enter the Solomonic dynasty, a royal lineage that claimed descent from the biblical King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. Under the leadership of Emperor Yekuno Amlak, who overthrew the Zagwe dynasty in 1270, the Solomonic dynasty ushered in a new era of unity and prosperity for Ethiopia. And thus, the stage was set for some of the most legendary tales of Ethiopian history. One such tale is that of Emperor Tewodros II, who ruled during the 19th century. Tewodros, a visionary leader and military strategist, sought to modernize and centralize Ethiopia, strengthening the nation against the tide of European colonialism that was sweeping across Africa. Alas, his dreams were cut short when he took his own life during the Battle of Magdala, as British forces closed in on his fortress. But fear not, for the tale of Ethiopia's resistance against colonialism doesn't end there. In the early 20th century, Emperor Menelik II led Ethiopia to victory against Italian invaders at the Battle of Adwa, a victory that remains a source of national pride and a symbol of African resistance against European imperialism. Menelik's reign also saw the establishment of the modern Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa, which means new flower in Amharic. Now, you might be thinking, what about that famous Ethiopian emperor who inspired reggae music and has a cult following to this day? Ah, yes, Emperor Haile Selassie, also known as Rastafari. Selassie's reign, which began in 1930, was a time of great change for Ethiopia. He sought to modernize the country, introducing social, economic, and political reforms. Yet, even the mighty Selassie could not escape the clutches of history's ever-turning wheel. In 1935, Italian dictator Benito Mussolini, eager to avenge Italy's humiliating defeat at Adwa, launched a brutal invasion of Ethiopia. Selassie, forced into exile, made an impassioned plea to the League of Nations, calling on the international community to stand against fascism and aggression. Alas, his plea fell on deaf ears, and Ethiopia was occupied by Italian forces until 1941, when the tide of World War II turned in favor of the Allies, and Ethiopian patriots, with the help of British forces, liberated their homeland. Despite the challenges of the mid-20th century, Ethiopia continued to make strides towards modernization and development. In 1963, Addis Ababa became the headquarters of the newly established Organization of African Unity, a precursor to the African Union, cementing Ethiopia's position as a leader in African politics. However, as the saying goes, the more things change, the more they stay the same. In 1974, political turmoil once again engulfed Ethiopia, as a military junta known as the Derg, led by Mengistu Haile Mariam, overthrew Emperor Haile Selassie and established a brutal communist regime. The ensuing years were marked by widespread famine, civil war, and human rights abuses, as Ethiopia struggled to find its footing in a rapidly changing world. But, as is the case with all great sagas, the story of Ethiopia does not end in darkness. In 1991, the Derg regime was toppled by a coalition of rebel forces led by the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front, ushering in a new era of relative peace, stability, and economic growth. Today, Ethiopia is a multi-ethnic, multilingual, and multicultural nation with a rich and vibrant history that continues to shape the course of global events. And so, my friends, our journey through the timeless sagas of Ethiopia comes to an end, for now. But as we close the book on this chapter of history, let us remember that the story of Ethiopia, like all great stories, is an ever-evolving tapestry of triumph and tragedy, of heroes and villains, and of a people who have persevered through the ages, leaving an indelible mark on the world stage. Thank you for joining me on this adventure through the annals of Ethiopian history. If you enjoyed this tale, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more epic journeys into the past, right here on Timeless Sagas. Until next time, stay curious, keep exploring, and always remember, history is but a story, and the story never ends.